Hey everybody, it's William Carter here with InquisitiveCarter.com.
I was up almost all night watching Minneapolis, so my heart is heavy, but I've been here with this level of heaviness many times throughout my life. So, but I think it's an important moment because I think that we're turning the corner, and the rage and the the just the profound pain that we feel as people seeing ourselves murdered in daylight over and over and over again. America has not dealt with her racism, William. She hasn't dealt with it. But young people, what we saw last night was young people frustrated with the constant disregard. And I was just telling my man this morning, I said, we had like 3 incidents back to back to back. Central Park, Minneapolis, Kentucky, right on top of them. And the thing is, we know that there's so many more incidents that are not caught on videotape. But even the ones that are caught on videotape, still white people in their indignation are like, and their privilege, they're like, what? We have a right to put our knee on a Black man's neck and kill him. We have a right to do that. We own you. We branded you. We took you from where you were from originally. Oh, okay. Usa. Hi, William. I started with, my heart was heavy. I just wanted to tell you how I spent my night and the beginning of my day. But I also want to tell you that I loved your interview with Sean Stockman. I absolutely loved that interview.
Thank you.
So kudos to you, not just for that interview, but for what you're doing, because we get people like you who have a sensitivity and awareness about the music and the culture. And for you to be a young Black man with this level of knowledge and you're sharing and spreading it, I support you, William. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that wholeheartedly because, sometimes when like sometimes when you're trying to go and you're trying to get to and keep working, and you get like little doubts here and there, and like there are moments that like, no, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. So that was one. Me and you interact right now. That's another one because, like I said in the email, when I was trying to figure out when I wanted to launch everything, and I discovered Black Music Month, I'm like, this resonates with my heart. This resonates with my soul. This is perfect. June 1st, I didn't care what I had. I knew that on June 1st, 5 years ago, was going to be how I did it, period. So, I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate you, Mr. Gamble, putting that together. Me even just looking up.
And Ed Wright, and broadcaster Ed Wright, he gets left out of the story. People, I always mention, I talked to Gamble yesterday and he was like, yeah, Dyana, make sure you say Ed Wright's name. I said, I say Ed Wright's name all the time. People are more focused on Gamble and me because we're still present, active in the industry. I think that's what happens, but yeah, and broadcaster Ed Wright, he brought all the DJs to the party. He was the head of a music organization that just was of DJs. So yeah, Ed Wright was in that mix as well. But again, I know probably for you, 5 years, you feel like you're toiling, who's listening, who's watching. It's hard, but keep doing it. Keep doing, because we need your voice. Let me tell you, I get a lot of messages, but when I saw your message, Sarah, you've interacted with Sarah, I saw your message and I responded immediately because of how well written it was. I felt your passion, your energy, and I said, this young brother is worth my time. So I just need you to know that.
Thank you. I truly
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. So,
where are you, by the way? Where are you? What
I'm in Maryland, actually.
What city are you in? Do you know where Pasadena is?
It's far. It's Pasadena. Not far, but it's, far.
Okay, all right. My best friend lives in Pasadena.
Oh, your best friend lives real nice.
My best friend is Kathy Hughes. Yeah, she lives really nice. She has a 17-acre farm with her own private dock that she goes fishing on, and took me on one day and said, cut the worm. I was like, I had the knife in my hand. She's like, girl, just cut that worm. I was like, I grew up in the hood, okay? We were not cutting worms. And we were not fishing off our private docks, Miss Hughes. All due respect. Okay, I'm back.
Oh my God. No, it makes sense that you two are best friends because even through the camera, you still exude like this knowledge, this feeling of like protection of the culture, protection of yourself, protection of like young people, and just like this motherly feeling. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it just
You just did. You just did.
it's
Accurate. Everything you said. And I saw that you were at the Urban One Honors. You know, I did the voiceover for the show.
I didn't know because
That
like,
was my voice all night long.
that is so cool because when we started, I'm like, I've heard her somewhere outside of me, like hearing the interviews, but I'm like, I've heard her voice somewhere, and I couldn't pinpoint where I heard it at.
I actually came out on stage. I think I was like the first person or the second person to come out on stage, which got cut out of the TV portion. But I opened the show with, a vignette. Let's see, who else was in it? Egypt Sherrod, myself, a few people who worked with Radio One early in their careers came out and did testaments to Miss Hughes and Urban One, which I'm still part of that family forever. I was with her when she was dreaming about owning a radio station, and that first station was WOL. So I am still very much, it's my best friend.
So how does that feel for you?
But anyway, William, I digress.
Listen, I was gonna do a perfect little segue.
To have a best friend like Kathy Hughes,
Yeah, and just
it feels wonderful. I mean, again, I've seen her on this journey. I met her as a single mother with a young child. She was pregnant as a teenager, but she did not let that deter her from her vision and her dreams and her capacity, which I might add, even at 70, she just had a birthday. I forget. I know she's older than me. That much I do know. I'm the baby of my group of girlfriends. But I've seen her, I was with her when she took her company public. That day, we were so excited because she's the first Black woman to take her company public on the stock exchange. I was like, ooh, I have chill bumps now, William, if you could see the bumps. So for me, it's been empowering, inspiring, and illuminating to be in the presence of such a brilliant, accomplished, visionary, American, successful businesswoman. Take the Black out for a second, because that's obvious. She's very Black, as am I, but I'm proud of her as an American entrepreneur who has spread our culture all over this globe and has employed tons of Black folks. That was always her vision and her goal. She said, I want to be able to sit one day and sign 1,000 checks of broadcasters that I employ in my company, Urban One. So I'm proud of her. I'm proud. And she's hard on me too, William. She's, the dozens. She's big on the dozens with me. I'm like one of her favorite subjects to do the dozens on. Anyway.
So how does it feel for you, still being an important person in the culture, still being called upon for your expertise, your help, just because again, like I said, there's something about you that people clearly love, they gravitate towards, and you've had this proven track record.
Well, thank you for that, William. I love our culture. I'm a proud Black woman. I had a mother who, while she is Puerto Rican, she overstood her African roots and instilled in me, as did my father, a great pride in being a Black music. I love our culture. I hear our music, I see us dance, I hear us pontificate. Whatever it is that we do, it just has so much flavor and it has so much vibrancy. And I am the inheritor of that. I have great regard for the people before me, Like, I rest on the shoulders of the great radio personalities who came before me. I've studied the artists, the Nina Simones, the Curtis Mayfields, who use their voice and their talents to write protest music. I can't wait to see what comes out of what's happening now. Wale is a client of mine. Sue Me. When you see those kind of videos and you hear that level of knowledge and recognition of our condition, I am the inheritor, and I am merely a voice amongst many others that appreciates and wishes to elevate and preserve our culture. I'm a daughter of our culture.
Now, you just mentioned Wale's Sue Me video, and when I watched it, I'm just like, I didn't know where he was going with when he first comes up with the white boy in the household, but when they kept progressing, I'm just like, oh, okay. And I felt like it was a message that, yes, we as the culture, we knew about, but it was something that it was going to encompass and be aware to the masses and allow people to maybe actually, hey, if you don't get it from the news, if you don't get it from your friends, if you don't get it from here or there, maybe visually seeing an example is something that may, somehow make it click in your head.
Well, I thought it was a brilliant video, and every young person, everybody should see it, because he was flipping the script. For people who haven't seen it, we encourage you to. But he flipped the script, and he had a young white man, his brother. He was flipping racism and the stereotypes that Black people experience. But instead of it being a Black person, it was a white person experiencing racism and put downs, billboards that, put down Black people, all these references in the video that just showed us how racism is playing out right this second as we speak. So check out Wale, Sue Me. That's what I'm saying, is that now, last night I had a moment, because I was talking with my best friend, male best friend, about what is going to come out of this and the responsibility of artists to articulate the pain, the suffering, the trauma, the PTSD of what is going on. G Herbo just did a PTSD record. Have you heard that? Hip hop artist? Yeah. So our artists have a responsibility. It's fine to turn up. Listen, I love a good turn up as much as the next person. However, we're in a pandemic. And not only are we in a pandemic globally, we've been, Black folks in America, we've been in a pandemic for a long time. It's called racism. So I'm fired up from watching all of this, what I've seen before in Watts, Detroit, DC. You've seen it before, LA. We've seen this. All right, I'm doing my best to stay focused on your questions, William.
You are perfectly.
I'm just a little fired up.
I understand completely. So, given the fact over the years, right, we've had artists that have spoken out for years, that put messages in their music, that tried to make a call to action, all of these great things, right? I remember it was in the 90s, there was this famous Tupac interview where he said, it's my responsibility to give a message out to the culture, to let them know what's going on. And he said, I feel like that's every artist's responsibility. So given the fact of what's going on now, how do you think artists will be able to differentiate between, hey, this is a good song that I'm putting out, and this is a song with a message? Or you think they can still combine it, if that makes sense?
I think there should be a mix. No, it does make sense, absolute sense. Like I said, I'm not saying to artists, only do conscious social message music at this time. That's why I said I like a good turn up. So we need turn up as well. We need the love songs, but we need the songs. And given what is going on in our societies currently, we need to be empowering people to write their senators, congressmen, to protest, to use their voices to articulate the dissatisfaction about the way the system is set up. Because the system is not set up to favor people who look like you and me, who are brown folks, Native Americans. Native Americans were here first, and look where they are. Many of them, not all, living in situations where I saw a statistic the other day that said the coronavirus is hitting them harder than just about everybody else. How come? How come? Why is that the original people that embraced foreigners to these shores, taught them how to survive winters, taught them how to raise crops, right? Turn on them, make deals that they broke. They knew they were not going to honor treaties, and then started the process of a massive ripoff and takedown of a group of loving, spiritual people. So yes, I look forward to seeing what artists produce out of this period of this pandemic, as well as this ongoing systematic racism enslavement of good people that just want to do the same thing that they do, raise their children, get the best education, work, come home, play. Come on. No, they still think, many think that we are owned by them.